I'm back. Today, the 10 largest books on my TBR. I saw a video, it was several months ago, back on Michael K. Vaughan's channel last year, where he talks about mammoth books, 800 plus page books. Now, I managed to knock a couple of those off my TBR last year. Things such as Lord of the Rings, War and Peace, and Eye of the World. But I have several more still sat on my TBR. Now, I'm not going to include books in the series that aren't the next book I'll be reading in the series, because those will be added to my TBR later on. But all those aside, these are the 10 largest books left on my TBR. And at number 10 is The Last Cavalier by Alexander Dumas. And this is a Napoleonic historical retelling, but it probably isn't completely historically accurate because Dumas was a bit like that. But the internet has it at around 258,000 words in this very large trade paperback, and between 750 and 860 pages. Next up is a book in the series by Robin Hobb. This is Ship of Magic, book 1 in the Life Ship Traders. I really enjoyed Farseer. This is on my TBR at the moment, so therefore it qualifies for this list. 880 pages, and it comes in at about 263,000 words. At number 8, a classic. I loved War and Peace last year, so probably next year I will get round to reading Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This is quite a large book as well, at 288,000 words and between 800 and 960 pages. Historical fiction next, and Ken Follett is a very popular author, and this is a very popular book in itself, The Pillars of the Earth. Now this is a big boy. This comes in at 292,000 words, 1,000 to 1,100 pages, and this was number 7 largest book on my TBR at the moment. Number 6 on my list is a book I saw on Steve Donahue's channel. This is Dreadnought, a historical book. This is a hardback of about 1,040 pages, and it actually breaks the 3,000 word barrier at 311,000 words. This would take me quite a while to read. Also, while I was on Steve Donahue's channel, he said that the longest book on most people's shelves would probably be the next book on my shelf. At number 5, it is It by Stephen King. Now, this is a notoriously long book. I've got my particular copy of it is at 1,166 pages. This is 334,000 words. I'd really like to say I'll read this Halloween for spooky season, but I've already got quite a few books on there already. But if I don't make it this year, it'll probably be on next year's spooky season reads. At number 4, these are just getting crazier and crazier, but again, we have Stephen King. This is the complete uncut stand. So even as a hardback, this book is actually over 1,000 pages. In fact, all copies of this book tend to be in uncut version, between 1,000 and 1,200 pages. 345,000 words for this one, which is a very similar number. In fact, just a few hundred words, I should think, difference between that and my next book, which is Shogun by James Covell. So I have to move this up on my TBR to avoid spoilers, because all the big booktubers will be reading it this winter. So I'll be starting this very shortly, I'm sure. Now this particular copy is 1,300 pages, but I know they do run a lot longer in paperback form. And this is another 345,000 word book. And the big 2. At number 2, it is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. He loves a big book. Even Three Musketeers is a long book. This is 381,000 words, kind of 1,100 to 1,250 pages, depending. And at number 1, I'm sure you've guessed it already, it is Les Mis by Victor Hugo, because this book is massive. Even in this hardback, which is almost 1,000 pages, this can go up to about 1,400 pages in paperback, and it is 411,000 words, which is extremely long. This really is kind of a War and Peace / The Lord of the Rings style book. Very, very long indeed. One that won't be on my TBR this year, unfortunately, but most likely in 2024 or 2025. But those are the 10 biggest books on my TBR at the moment. Please, if you're watching this, one of the 12 to 20 people that watch my videos, feel free to let me know what are the biggest books on your TBR in the comments below.